Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Sean, the homeschool guru. And listen, I am here. I told you I was coming back at 9 o'clock. I am here again to answer your questions about homeschool. Y'all bear with me as I comb through this full head of hair that I've got right here. It's a bunch going on, and it's time to wash it. And so I'm trying to pick some of the shed hair out of there. Y'all bear with me. Don't judge me, okay? My husband hates when I do this. But listen, it is what it is at this point, okay? All right. So y'all come on in here, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. Let me see. I'm gonna log on to my iPad and see if I can see the comments. Cause y'all know last week, I think Thursday, I was having a hell of a time. Hold on, y'all. But y'all come on in here, say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. And let's talk, fam. Let's discuss. Let's go. Let's see what had happened and stuff. Hey, Sylvia. Thank y'all so much for joining me. If you are on Facebook, please, please, please share. Let's get some people in the room. If you're on Instagram, tag some folks in here. Let's get some people in here, okay? Hold on, I'm trying to get situated where I can read the comments at the same time and not drop a bunch of random stuff. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with me, my name is Sean Taylor and I am the homeschool guru. I specialize in helping families transition from traditional school into homeschooling, which can be a daunting task, especially when you don't fully understand what homeschooling is. Somebody just sent me a message and asked me, what am I doing to my hair? It is time for me to wash it and twist it back up to do a twist out. But in order for me to wash it, I need to kind of detangle it. So right now, while I'm sitting here, I am kind of going through and detangling the pieces that I know are a little tangled. So y'all listen, just ignore me, okay? Don't even worry about what's going on here, okay? It's a nervous habit, really, to be honest with you. But if I see hairs that I know that are not in the right place, they're wrapped around something, I try to get them out of there before I wash my hair. So that's what I'm doing, okay? So y'all coming in, come on in and say, hey, what's up? Let me know that you're here. If you remember, if you're with me earlier around 6 o'clock or so, I told you that I would be allowing you guys to come live with me to ask questions. And so now is the time. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to just dropped a bunch of stuff off my desk. You are more than welcome to jump on live. For Instagram, there's two little people down there at the bottom that you can click to request to go live. Same thing with Facebook. So let's jump on here live. Earlier, I talked about how to respond to people who don't necessarily agree with your choice to homeschool. And that's usually a hot topic because we always have someone that has some type of negative thought towards what homeschooling is and what it means to homeschool. And so it's important and imperative that we stand our ground in whatever it is that we believe. So basically, that conversation went something like, thank you. If you've been with me, you've heard me say it a million times. Thank you for your concern. Thank you for your questions or whatever the case may be. But these are my babies and I've chose to raise them however, the way that I've been blessed to do it. And if that ever changes, then it'll just be changed kind of situation. Hey, Denny, thank you so much for joining me. So does anybody else have any questions about homeschooling? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I never, in my wildest dreams, real talk, I had no plan to homeschool our children. I was busy trying to be a part of leadership at a logistics company, and that was my goal. That was my complete goal, was to be in leadership. I wanted to be a center manager, so I wanted to be the manager of the entire location. One of the first Black ones, actually, Black females at that. I don't even think there's that many Black males, to be honest, but that's a whole nother conversation. There might be now. But that was my goal, to do the impossible. And so when this option was brought to me, it was like, I ain't gonna say it was a no-brainer, but it kind of was a no-brainer. Like, it was like, okay, well, yeah, I feel like I can do this, but then what am I giving up in return for doing this? And so what I pretty much gave up was my career. And I say that unfortunately, but also with the same breath, I say that it's been a blessing and the best thing that I've ever done. So what kind of questions do y'all have for me as far as homeschooling is concerned? I told you guys I have two big things coming up I'm super excited about. I just submitted proposals for two conferences. And so hopefully I will hear back. Hold on. Hopefully I will hear back in the next couple of days. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. There's always something going on. Hopefully I will hear back from that in the next couple of days and be able to do whatever it is that I need to do. So what kind of questions do y'all have for me, y'all? My kids are stay messing with stuff. Hold on, I'm trying to fix it. There we go. Now let me see if I can fix it this way. Let's see. Y'all bear with me. My kids stay messing with stuff, I promise. It's like they find something of mine just to mess with it. Hey Carla, how you doing? So does anybody have any questions for me, y'all? I mean, I can answer anything as far as that's concerned. Facebook, I apologize for the camera moving. Again, my kids have been messing with something because they're amazing. They're absolutely wonderful at following instructions. They have been messing with my camera, and so I'm trying to fix that. So y'all let me know if you have any questions about homeschooling, about working in homeschool, about marriage in homeschooling, how that works out for us, the story of how we transitioned to homeschool, anything you can possibly ask about homeschool. I'm going to look at some more things that I had planned on giving you guys. Let's see. Okay, so we were going to talk today also about 4 comprehension tips, right? Things that you can help to build your child's comprehension. And the first one is bridge the old knowledge with the new knowledge. Try to get the child to connect what they already know with what they're currently learning. So try to connect the dots basically for them. And number 2 is have the child question before and after reading. So what we typically do, so one of my kids struggles with comprehension. That's just one of the things he has issues with. And so one of the things that we do is before we get deep into the chapter or deep into the story of the book, we actually ask questions. What do you think what's going to happen to this particular character? Do you like, for right now, we're reading The Hunger Games. It's kind of been on pause. Hey, Camila, it's kind of been on pause for a minute, but we're reading The Hunger Games. And so we ask questions about, where do you think this is going to go? What do you think is going to happen? Why do you think they're reacting this way? What do you think is going to happen in this chapter? And then we read the chapter and we ask the same questions that we just asked, right? To make sure that whatever we thought was going to happen did happen or it didn't happen. And so that's one of the ways that I've been able to make my son stop and like pay attention to what he's actually reading. Because he knows I'm going to ask questions in the beginning, like just different specific questions. What do you think? Like, what do you think is the significance of the pendants? Do you think, like, when they went to, the alarm went off, the sound went off, and they went to rush in to grab whatever equipment they could have, and she grabbed the backpack. Why was that important for her to get the backpack? And all that good stuff. Like, what we talk about that in detail before, and then we talk about it after so that he's able to visualize exactly what's going on. Hey, Christina, thank you for joining me. And so let's see, you could do something like, what are the facts being mentioned? So what's actually being stated right now while you're reading it? You can also say, have them research it and see what they see. So what is it that you think is going to happen based on what you know about that period of time? Number 3 would be to visualize the material. Ask them to imagine, and then ask them what comes to mind. So for instance, again, we are reading The Hunger Games. And so what I would do in that instance, or what I have done, is I'll say to him, when they're standing around waiting for the sound, the buzzer or whatever, to go off for them to start the games, what do you think is happening? What do you think is running through Katniss's mind? What do you think is happening? What do you think her parents are feeling, her mother's feeling? What do you think the people around her are feeling? So I want them to, in the midst of that, to question exactly what they think is possibly going on when this happens. And so that's another way to help with comprehension, because then they can stop and visualize and think about it, exactly what they're going through. So in that moment, in the midst of whatever is going through the story, whatever's happening, even to the point where she's hiding up in the tree and somebody lights a fire and gets caught or whatever, I want him to visualize her hiding up in the tree and hearing the other people in the games come and then attack that other person. Like, what do you think Katniss is hearing? What do you think she's smelling? What do you think she's seeing? And the reason why I ask those questions is because I want him to physically, like, visualize himself, like almost watching a movie of what he's reading. And that has been very helpful. Those questions have been very helpful, because typically he just reads to read, and he's not a visual person at all. And so me having him stop and ask those detailed questions has required him to become more visual. What do you think is happening? What do you think she's smelling? What do you think she's tasting? What do you think she's hearing? What do you think she's seeing? We go through all the senses and see what it is. And like he'll say, for instance, he'll say, what do you think she's hearing? She's hearing maybe the branches snapping, or maybe she's not hearing it at all. And it's they're getting ready to attack her. Or she's hearing she's smelling the smoke from the fire. From the person building the fire, and what is she seeing? She's seeing them attack, the other person. And what is she thinking in the midst of that? Well, she's probably trying to determine if she's safe or if she needs to take off running. But right now, in this moment, it looks like she's safe. So just having him visualize everything that he's going through. Okay. Let's see. Homeschool in VA says most good readers make movies in their head. Exactly. Exactly. And that's typically what the issue is when it comes to comprehension. They're literally just reading the words and they're unable to visualize what's happening. And I noticed that I learned that with my kids because like I'm a vivid. I like to read. But when I read, I create pictures. I create the movie in my head, like you said. And speaking to my husband, and when he reads, he's like, no, I just read. Like, I just read. There's no pictures. There's nothing. I just read whatever it is, read to understand, and I keep it moving. And that was different for me. I didn't understand that he was reading just to read versus me reading and having a whole picture of what's happening and what's going on. So that's something that I'm having to teach, like take my son by the hand and teach him that behavior. So my number 4, my last comprehension tip is have them summarize short passages they've read instead of the whole entire passage. So another thing too that we do, and I can add something else that we've added on this year, but another thing that we do is instead of him summarizing an entire chapter or the entire book, I have him summarize a page, or I have him summarize a paragraph, or I have him summarize a scenario. So for instance, again, when Katniss is in the tree and all of that is going on, I want him to summarize just that part. Forget what happened before, forget what happened after, just summarize what happened in that part. And that helps him in that instance as well. Hey, Rachel, thank you so much for joining me. And then recently, the number 5 tip that I use as far as comprehension is that we use audiobooks. And so we use a lot of audiobooks because my kids are traveling back and forth for different sports activities and stuff. And so instead of listening to the radio, we tend to listen to audiobooks, not so much as we used to, but we do listen to audiobooks. So we have a subscription to Scribd. Is it Scribd or Scribd? I don't know. SCRIBD, which we enjoy a lot. And so what we've started doing is we're reading the book in person, and then we'll listen to the book on the audio version. And so, for instance, in Hunger Games, we read all the way through whatever we're reading. Then we're in the car and we listen to the audio version of it, and it helps create that visualization. I don't know why, it works for us. And so those are my tips for comprehension. Those are one of the things that people ask all the time, like how many different types of, what can I do about comprehension? So I'll go over those again. So the first one is to bridge the old knowledge with the new knowledge. Like what did they know compared to what they need to know, and bridge them together. Number 2 is have the child question before and after. So before they start reading, maybe they question what they think is going to happen. Then after they're finished, they're going to question what happened and see if it lined up and matched up together. And then number 3, again, is my favorite, which is helping them visualize the material, right? I want them to see, like she stated, Homeschool in VA stated, I want him to have that movie in his head. I want him to read it and see it in his head. Because that for me is what made reading fun, because I could read whatever I was reading, but on top of reading whatever it was that I was reading, I was able to visualize step by step what was happening. Even listening to the audiobook of the Hunger Games, like I'm able to, like I'm driving down the freeway and I'm literally visualizing what's happening, whatever's being said. And I think that's a very important part of that, is visualizing it. And then number 4 was having them summarize shorter passages. So instead of doing a big summary of the entire book where they may have forgotten some of the details, you're going to have them summarize paragraphs or pages, or maybe even a chapter, depending upon how they do on that. Or maybe you could do a page. So have them read a page. We did this as well. Have them read a page and then highlight some facts that he thought was good. And then at the end, we summarized the chapter, and he was able to use the stuff that he highlighted to summarize whatever it is that he read, because he would forget, like he would literally forget what was going on. So that was a way that we did that. And then number 5 that I just added, I completely forgot about, was that we do audiobooks and we do the actual hard copy of the book or the paperback. So we're reading the paperback, and then we'll do the audiobook in the car to go along with it. And that helps as well. And so those are my tips about comprehension, and how you can build a comprehension with your child. Are there any questions for me, y'all? This is a coaching session. I mean, I am giving you tips, but you do have an opportunity to come live with me and ask whatever questions you want to ask. So does anybody have any questions for me, y'all? It's been a pleasure talking to you. I always enjoy it. I always enjoy helping you guys and making sure that you're good to go. But I don't want you to be afraid to ask me a question. You don't even have to come live if you don't want to. You could just send me a message, or you could just put it in the comments. But I always want to hear from you, because I want to make sure that you're successfully homeschooling. Because it's hard out here. It's hard out here for a pimp. That was ugly. I shouldn't have said that. So does anybody else have any questions? Because I'm not going to be before you long. I already came live once today. So I'm not going to be before you long. If you have questions, this is the opportunity and the time to ask that. If not, I'm going to jump off of here, and I may try to come back later tonight. I don't know. I said I'd think about it, but I don't know, y'all. That hot shower felt good. I done my little face routine and moisturizing my cuticles now. Such a diva. And then I'm ready to head to bed. So does anybody have any questions? Nothing whatsoever? Because if not, I'm going to jump off of here, y'all. But I would like for you guys to come back with me. So tomorrow I'll be here at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time again to answer your homeschool questions for free, right? You don't have to pay anybody to do it. Uplifting says, how long should I homeschool my 6-year-old and 5-year-old a day? Okay, so the little ones, guys, remember that their attention span is, thank you so much. The little ones, their attention span is not the best. And when I say not the best, I don't mean it in a negative way, but you just can't expect your 5 and 6-year-old to have the same type of attention span that a 15 and a 16-year-old would have. And so at that age, I would say you're doing maybe 5 to 10 minute, 15-minute lessons. Think about when they're in traditional school and they have circle time. Typically, circle time is about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. And then they have stations, and then they move on to something else, right? So I would think that the shorter the better. That's what I suggest. The shorter the better. And just because you do a 10-minute lesson on math right now doesn't mean that you can't come back to it later on. And so that's the thing to think about, right? So if you spend 5 to 10 minutes on each subject, and then you decide to come back and do it again, then you're still doing well above than what you should be doing, right? Because they're not doing that in real school. They're not doing that in real school. Let me know if that answered your question. Is this Tanya Uplifting? What's your name again? I'm sorry. Y'all know I forget. These Instagram handles are way different and I forget. I'm sorry. But I think it's Tanya. I might be wrong. But does anybody have any questions? Any other questions? Let me know if that makes sense. Talisha, I'm sorry. I done gave you a whole different name. I apologize. That's what I get. Hey, Carla. Carla says, okay, thank you for making that question. I wasn't sure how to ask it. How to ask the question about the lessons? Carla, is that what you're asking about? I'm sorry, Talisha. I done gave you a whole different name. Tanya. Loud and wrong. I mean, loud and wrong. My apologies. I'm sorry. I try to remember everybody's name. Let's see. Hey, Sharia. Thank you for joining me. Carla, is that what you were talking about? Hey, Dion. Is that D? I can't tell. I'm telling y'all, these names on Instagram catch me every time. I see you on Facebook, but then when you come on Instagram, y'all got these bomb homeschooling mom of 10, the bomb, hashtag the bomb. Y'all got these names and I can't match them that well. Yes, it helped me. I've been keeping the work pages and track of what we're doing. Okay, good. Yeah, 5 or 10 minutes is not too much. Like I mean, that's enough. And then you could come back to it later on. But what you don't want to do, and I also tell too, if your kids are enjoying whatever it is that you're doing, let them do it. I wouldn't just say, okay, time's up. Like, let's move on to something else. But if they're enjoying it, let them do it. Oh, Carla says yes about the smaller kiddos' attention. Yeah, it's difficult to expect them to sit down. I mean, even me. So I have a 10-year-old is my baby boy, and my oldest is 16. And so I don't expect for my 10-year-old to behave in the same manner as my 16-year-old. If I give my 16-year-old work, she has 30 to 45 minutes for each subject. I expect her to sit down and get it done. And there may be a few distractions here and there, but nothing too serious. As far as my son, though, who is 10 years old, that would be a struggle for him. So sometimes we do it in 15-minute increments. So he does a total of 30 minutes for a subject, but we do it in 15-minute increments because it's difficult for him to sit down and do that. But as he gets older, the expectation will change for sure. She says, thank you. Talisha says, thank you. My 5-year-old gets frustrated. She wants to play all day, which is fine. Okay, so she wants to play all day, but think about it. She's a kid, right? She's younger. That's what she wants to do. So now it's time for you to find something to go along with that particular mentality. So she wants to play. So what kind of educational games, educational things that you can do for her to make it seem like it's play, but she's learning. One of the things that we did for my 10-year-old was we did logic puzzles. So he was having a hard time staying focused and needed something to kind of challenge him in the middle of whatever it was he was doing. So we bought logic puzzles and for him to do in the midst of his work. So he would be working, whatever the case may be, maybe taking he's done his 15 minutes. He's sick of math. He doesn't want to do it anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, here, grab this logic workbook and just do a couple pages on it. Then you can get back to work. And although it was him thinking logic puzzles, he was doing the work, he took it as fun. Another thing too that we got for him was circuit breakers. So we got the circuit board, not circuit breakers, the circuit board. So we got him the circuit board, and in between classes or in between whatever it is he's doing and he needs a break, he can grab the circuit board and build a new circuit. And so that was something new for him because he'd have to figure out how to piece it together to build whatever it was he was trying to build. So just shift your thinking a little bit, Talisha. All right, does anybody else have any questions? This hair is hot, child. Does anybody else have any questions? I am here for a few more minutes. I do not mind answering them for you, and then I will be back with you. I said I might come back later tonight. I'm probably not, so let me just be honest. But I'll do one for lunch tomorrow. How about that? I'll do a session. Wait a minute. I'm getting my teeth cleaned tomorrow. Okay, I lie. I'm getting my teeth cleaned tomorrow. It won't be during lunch. Where did you get the circuit board from? So I got the circuit board from Amazon. And it's a little kitty one. I will try to, if you send me a message, I'll try to post the link or give you the link of what we use. But it was a little Amazon, and it was like 150 different circuits that they could build and different things. And I think a fan went off, a horn went off, music, happy birthday song played, and something else. And they built different versions of it. And then like the grandiose, the end all be all was connecting all of them in all 4 pieces. So it was like a light bulb going off. I think I said light bulb going off, the happy birthday song, a fan going, and something else, all going at the same time. So they had to build everything to make all 4 of them go through. Talisha says, can I create a lesson plan from different workbooks? You absolutely can. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And basically, remember, one of the things that I want you to remember, if you've ever taken my curriculum course, if you haven't, shame on you. But if you ever taken my How to Write Your Own Curriculum course, the curriculum is just a group of lessons. That's all it is. Like, that's it. It's not this big old huge thing. Like, it's not as detailed as you're trying to make it seem, or difficult as what you're trying to make it seem, but you can lesson plan strictly off of worksheets. So you could grab a workbook. Y'all know one of my favorites is Brain Quest. You could grab a Brain Quest workbook, find some YouTube videos, find some other videos to go along with it, and then also do the worksheets on top of that. How do you do that? So that's a whole course that I can teach you how to do that, but that's the course. But basically, I mean, you could take whatever subject matter. Let me just give this broad detail. You could take whatever subject matter that you want. So say for instance, we're doing like, because I was just looking at this, I added cuticle oil to my nails. So why am I adding cuticle oil to my nails? What is the purpose of it? And then just go maybe about absorption and the importance of it and all that good stuff, and go from there. So just start from one point and then just create the lesson depending upon what, direction you want to go. But that's a whole course that I teach on how to write your own lessons. So does anybody else have any questions? All right, so listen, I will be back with you again. I said around lunchtime, but I lied because I have a dentist appointment. I'm getting my teeth cleaned around 11 o'clock tomorrow, so I don't believe that I'll be able to be done by then. And so I won't be able to do that, but I will try to come. Maybe I'll come live again. My son has practice, so I'll come live during practice, and then I'll come live again at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So somewhere around 6:30, I'll come live tomorrow to do another session. Okay, and Talisha says, okay, I want to take the course or join. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. A lot of people have questions about the difference between my services and what's best. What I will tell you is that if you're just needing a one-on-one session, right? You just need to knock some questions out, get some answers, and move forward. The appointment, the session is the best situation for you, right? So it's a one-stop shop. You pay $99. You get to ask me whatever you need to ask me. We do whatever it is we need to do for an hour. That's how that works. Okay. Now, if you're needing me to walk with you through this journey and talk to you every week, hold your hand, ask your questions, answer your questions during the week while you're going through whatever it is you're going through, then the best situation, or the best solution, should I say, is the masterminds. And basically what masterminds is, it's a group coaching session. So we get together. Right now we're getting together every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. The girls, the ladies come on, they ask whatever questions they need to ask. I ask them how their week was. We go down the line, they do whatever it is they need to do. And then once that's done, we move on to the next person. So we go all the way through it. That particular service, depending upon what you do, is $49 a month, or it's $27 every 2 weeks. It depends on what option you use. So for those on Facebook, I will post that link for you. For those on Instagram, the link is actually in my bio. So you're good as far as that's concerned. But let me get Facebook together. Hold on, y'all. But yeah, if I had to tell you anything, it's important for you to know the difference between the two, because what I don't want to do is just take your money and then you're not satisfied. So if I had to say anything, Masterminds is your best bet, because you pay that $49 a month, or you pay that $27 every 2 weeks, but you have access to me every single week. And so basically we sit and do a coaching session every Sunday night before your week gets started. A lot of the members send me messages throughout the week to ask whatever questions that they need. They have been in the thick of it, like right in the middle of their lesson, and needed some type of help, and they've sent messages. They also all have my personal cell phone number, so they're able to reach me at any moment to get that help. So if you're looking for that type of service, you need somebody to help you, walk you through it, then the Masterminds is the best option. And again, that is $49 a month, or $27 every 2 weeks. So that's the best option. I've added it to the comments for Facebook, Instagram. The link is in my bio if you're interested. But otherwise, if there are no other questions, I'm going to jump off of here, and I will be back with you tomorrow evening, say around 6 to 6:30, and then I will be back again at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hey, Laura. Laura says, what grades do you recommend for Masterminds? So there's not necessarily a grade that I recommend. If you are homeschooling and you need help, you need somebody to walk you through, like have a weekly type coaching session on how to do it or what you need to do throughout the week, then the Masterminds is going to be your best bet. And so, like I said, these ladies, they have firsthand access to me. They have my personal cell phone number, which they do text me on. And I don't mind, right? They are able to also reach me during Messenger, and versus getting a response within 24 hours, they typically get it within a week. We are doing different classes. All of the classes that I teach online for a fee, they have actually gotten for free. So the how to write curriculum, the lesson planning, and how to work in homeschool, they have gotten all three of those for free. They also have all different resources as far as grading, transcripts, um, test worksheets. They've gotten all different things, a planner. They've gotten all kind of things for free just for being a part of the mastermind. So that is the difference. So, and I will be honest with you. Again, if you just need a one-stop shop, Sean, I just need to rapid fire some questions and I need you to answer those questions for me, then that would be a normal appointment session, coaching session, right? And that's $99. But if you are walking through this process and you need somebody to walk through it with you, then that's when you would join the masterminds, because you would get more bang for the buck. So you're paying $49 a month or $27 every 2 weeks, and you're getting me every single week. So every week we're talking. We didn't talk this week because I wasn't feeling well, but every week we're speaking. Every week we're talking about, hey, the questions get asked. How was your week? What did you need? What were your successes? What can I help you with? Is there anything like, what is it that you need from me? Just to make sure that you are successful. And I have a pretty good close-knit group. I think there's a total of 10 ladies in there. And it's been amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The connection alone has been great. So I wouldn't recommend it again for age group. I just would recommend it for you if you need help. And even if you say, for instance, you join for a month and you're like, fam, it's completely up to you. But that's what's going on with Sean, the homeschool guru. Okay. So I'm going to jump off of here again, guys. I will be back tomorrow around 6 to 6:30 p.m. tomorrow while my son is at practice to do another coaching session. And then I will be back again at 9 p.m. tomorrow night. And then I'll be fully caught up, right? You'll get your full 12 days, right? I haven't messed you over. I said 12 free. That's what you're going to get is 12 free. Okay. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful night. Thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. Y'all don't understand how much of a smile that you put on my face just by allowing me to speak with you, trusting me to ask all the questions or answer the questions. Y'all are a blessing to me, and I appreciate every single one of you. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. And then tomorrow, y'all bring somebody in here with you, because everybody's pretty much homeschooling, right? They're COVID schooling or they're homeschooling. And so this is the time and the place to get the help that you need, right? Especially right now, because y'all, A, a lot of it is free from me. A lot of it is free. But B, you know, I'm available. So y'all have an absolutely wonderful night. Y'all get some rest. Enjoy your husband. Enjoy your kids. Enjoy life. Just enjoy yourself, guys. And I will talk to you guys soon. Instagram, y'all be blessed. Have an absolutely wonderful night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at 6:30. And Facebook, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. You have an absolutely wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow at 6:30. Y'all be blessed. Love on your husbands, love on your boyfriend, your boo thing, your kids, love on all of them. Good night, guys.